Hello, and this is Walter from Hospital Life, and today I got Szilvia from the Strengths Company with me, and we're going to talk about something very interesting. We're going to talk about a new leadership program. Welcome, Szilvia. How are you doing today?
I'm very well. Thank you for having me. I'm super excited talking about this program.
I've heard a little bit about it. I got very excited. So let's talk more about it and share that.
Yes. So as you know, I spent 19 years in the hospitality industry, and my specializations in talent development and especially leadership development. And I always felt that something is missing from this area, right? We teach leaders and managers a lot of things, but we never actually teach them about themselves. And it's really hard to manage others and lead others when you don't know how to know yourself and how to manage and lead yourself. So we put together, based on this theory, that really what is missing from talent development is self-awareness development. We put together a program which is, we call it as the Ultimate Leadership Challenge, or the High Altitude Leadership Program, which I like to call it. Is a combination of many things. It's a 9 days program, and it tests everything about a leader. Your mental capacity, your self-awareness, how strong you are in your mind and physically, and really brings all the elements together that it's pretty much simulates life. Life throws at us, and leaders especially, it throws at us so many different things. And sometimes we just feel that I can barely keep my head above the water, and I'm just treading it. What am I doing? So this is where leaders come forward and step forward. But how do they do that, right? Because it's easy. I'm gonna put you through another leadership program. They will tell you, transformational leadership. Okay, but how is it going to help me when I don't know what I'm capable of doing? So this program is really, it's actually a 2 months program if we look at it this way, because 2 months, 8 weeks before the trip, we start the physical preparation. So all the participants receive a specialized and personalized training plan that they need to follow. So I work together with a guy who is in fitness, and he's from the police. Super fit guy, and he's trained and educated and had fitness and well-being. And he specializes training program and tells, you, for example, this is based on your data, based on the level of currently fitness, this is what you need to do. So that starts 1 month prior. I come into the picture. I mean, I'm also there even before. Yeah. I come into the picture, and I run 2 assessments on each participant. One of the assessments we look at is the strength assessment. I'm a CliftonStrengths coach. So we look at, what is it that you are made of? What are your strengths? What do you bring to the table? And it's very interesting because most of the people, they just don't have a clue. I'm very good in P&L and budgeting and Excel and all that, and communication. Like, that's not what we are talking about in here. And then the second assessment is the personality, the big 5. And based on these 2 assessments, we have 2 coaching sessions before we set out on the trip. This is really preparing them physically and mentally. And based on the personality profile, obviously, I can already see if that person is going to struggle up on the mountain, because personality tells a lot about us and what is it that we are capable of doing in terms of mental strength, and how we are going to react to these unexpected situations. And
yeah, absolutely. I bet there will be a few.
Yes, when nature throws elements at us, if one moment is sunny, then it rains, then it's hot, then it's cold, then anything could happen up there. So we have 2 coaching sessions. And then we go on this journey. We start. And during this 9 days, it's really all about, every single day they have 2 leadership lessons, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. These are short ones because up there you don't have that's not about we're going to facilitate the classroom session. It's not about that. Very short one, half an hour. And for example, things that are relevant to leaders. So for example, you've been managing people, right? But I'm sure nobody asks you the question, what happens? What do you do? How do you respond when the booing comes? Because every leader gets the boo at some point, you're the worst manager, I don't like it, whatever that is. Your employee engagement survey is just not where we want it to be. And it doesn't really matter why at the beginning, it's how we respond to it. And when I ask this of senior leaders, they don't have the answer. I'm like, how do you respond? And nobody's preparing also young leaders, that
understand.
it is going to come. Be prepared for it, and so we look at their strengths and we look at also the personality and we talk about those areas. We are actively preparing leaders, especially young leaders. These are the situations that you are going to face. It's fantastic that you are technically great. You have to communicate with people, but you also have to equip yourself with the skills that, it will come. Situations will come. So that's just one of those examples. So we build their self-awareness around who they are in terms of their strengths, their personality. We give them situations that will happen in life if you are a leader, right?
And so these situations are during the trip. We're talking now during the trip where these situations, okay.
Absolutely. So one in the morning around 10 o'clock and one in the afternoon. And this all while we are doing the hike. So there is no stopping. And this is when it gets difficult, because the further up we go, altitude will come into the picture. And, there is nothing you can do. And it's exactly the same as life. When life comes at you with its problem, with the problems, there's nothing you can do. You can't even be prepared for most of the things that you as a leader have experienced, right? For example. Yeah. And this is where the mental and physical strength needs to be combined with the self-awareness, because altitude sickness is not a game. You will have banging headache. You need to keep going. You will feel really, really bad. When you are coming down with the bad flu, this is what you are going to experience. You will lose appetite. So that's that weakens your physical strength. But you need to keep going because you have the goal in your head, right? You need to reach the summit. You cannot just, okay, it's too difficult. I turn back. Because what does it mean when you are in a leadership role?
Yeah.
First, you're going to give up at the first hurdle?
No, exactly.
Right?
It's a good simulation.
Yes. So the more symptoms comes, nose bleeding, etc. None of them are dangerous. And we also know when to stop that. So sometimes some people develop severe altitude sickness and they are taken downstairs, straight away taken off the mountain. So we have a porter and additional staff, one staff basically for each person. So if something happens, it's very, very easy. We are now going to 15 of us tomorrow morning, and we have 15 additional staff who is coming with us. They are the ones cooking, carrying, the porters, and if something happens, they are the locals taking the team down if it's needed. So then it's really, do you have the mental and the physical strength to push forward? Despite all the conditions.
Yeah, understand. So the first one is tomorrow.
Yes, the first one is well, we did it last year. This is the second one. The last year was the test one when we went to Everest Base Camp. And so it was really, okay, let's test out. I had to test myself. How do I respond to, altitude? Can I actually spare energy and develop others and train others and challenge others while I'm also experiencing these symptoms and all that? So that worked very well. And this is the very first one. We are going tomorrow, 15 of us plus one. So it's altogether 16 of us. And we are also taking 4 teenagers with us this time. And this is what it makes it. And this is where the whole school thing came into the picture for me and for my colleague. I'm like, you know what? It's very relevant to senior leaders as well, right? Because it's something that they never experienced. And senior leaders, they don't want, I mean, you've been there. What is it that I can tell you about the job that you haven't gone through? You know, there's nothing. But I can ask you with my background, things about yourself, which you will not have answers to, right? And that's quite interesting. It turns out that everybody's interested about themselves. So that's good news for me. But this is where it came to my mind when Abdul, because he wanted to put together an only teenager group, not for this particular program, but just for himself. And we just combined the two together for, just out of the blue. And I'm like, what if we did that for school, hospitality school, right? We sell them the idea that you will be a manager and the leader the moment you finish school. Okay, but then let's prepare them. Let's prepare what's coming. But unfortunately, these are the parts that are missing from the curriculum. What do you think?
No, it sounds wonderful. So what is it that at the end I'd get out of it? I understand that there's this preparation part, then there's the actual trip, and of course we're talking about ourselves. So we're learning about who we are, how we respond in situations, I guess. And what is the end goal? What is it that you would like the people that go with you on the trip and on this leadership journey, really? What is it that you want them to get out of it?
So what I would like is really self-awareness, right? Knowing themselves what they are capable of, not capable of doing, and that's okay. How they can manage around their weaknesses, because there's a big part about that during the program. We are not good at everything. I know that the social narrative would love to sell that idea to us, and we love that, but that's just not true, So teaching them about what they are good at, how to lean into those ones, so leverage that going further in their careers and in their personal life. How to recognize and what are their weaknesses that they are not really good at, and how to manage around those. So not focusing on them, but managing around those. And then obviously their personality traits and how they are going to respond. And once you are going through during these coaching sessions is really, I'm giving them some tools how to manage those personality traits, how to manage those strengths. So if you are very high on conscientiousness, for example, but very low on creativity, what are the jobs that you probably should be doing and not, you shouldn't? Should you be, because everybody these days, especially the young generations, they all want to have their own business. But business, being an entrepreneur, it's actually directly linked to your personality traits. So we can have the conversation. Look, you are not made out to be an entrepreneur by nature because you're not willing to take risk. You like stability and predictability. So that's not the trait that we would like to have for an entrepreneur. However, these are the safeguardings that you could put in place so you manage around your, what you want and your personality. We're not going to change you. That's not what we do. What is it that we can do? So the outcome is really equipping themselves about themselves, because nobody is teaching us. Our parents never taught us who we are. We don't come with a manual, a user manual. The schools don't teach us. Work doesn't teach us. So who is going to teach us what we are capable of doing? And this is the ultimate aim. And obviously for them to be exposed to an environment and make the connection that, if I can overcome that, I can probably overcome many similar situations in life.
That sounds wonderful. Leadership. I mean, I think many of us had many classes, trainings, and things like that to learn more about leadership, but to actually do it under pressure which is what you do every single day in your job, is a whole different thing. So this really simulates that. That's wonderful. I really like it. So this one is tomorrow, and you're planning the next one already.
We are
How's that
planning the
going?
next one. Yes, we looked at October. Unfortunately, everybody's busy in October. Schools are coming back. People are coming back from holidays. So we might need to skip that one, but we already have a date for February.
Fantastic.
So yes, probably that is more realistic. People need preparation, and obviously after the summer
Yeah, I understand.
holidays, it's not something that they. But yes,
Understand.
we will be doing that.
And what is the maximum size of a group? Is that 15? Is that what kind of?
15 is the ideal one. We can go up to 18, but not more than that, just because the effectiveness of what we are doing, because there's a lot of peer-to-peer learning.
Yeah.
In that. You know, in the evening, so in the afternoon we have the second session, and in the evening is all about peer-to-peer. So it works very well with experienced leaders, because leadership is lonely, right? You guys are on your own. And sometimes it's really good to throw out, to other senior leaders or experienced leaders. These are the things that I'm facing. I don't really know how to respond to it or how to solve that problem. But then you will have an additional 15 people around you and say, look, I have already gone through that, or maybe this is what you could do, etc., etc. So there is a massive emphasis on peer-to-peer learning, because with senior leaders, that works really, really well, because they listen to people who actually know what they are experiencing.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I can see how it works for senior leaders, but like you said, with schools, I can see that as well. I mean, to come out of college or still be in university and to really dream of that leadership role and to experience it at this level where you can put your training that you've had prior of leadership into practice under high pressure in a leadership training program like this, I think is wonderful and a real add-on and a real probably bonus almost to your career step onto the ladder and can really help you maybe to go a bit faster. So so February, if people want to sign up for that, how does that go? Do they go to your website? They contact you?
Yes,
What
they
do they
can
do?
contact me directly through my website. You can give them my email address, and and we just at the moment we just released the date, so we start collecting people, and we would love to have students as well. Ideally, we would, sometimes even the mixed group helps, because then the students would learn from the senior leaders, because they already have that. The senior leaders could learn. We couldn't always learn cross-generationally, right? Because these
100%.
guys are fantastic with their creative ideas. So we are open to both options, separate groups or the mixed group. It obviously would change a little bit of the dynamic. But yes, we just opened up all the places. It's really all about high pressure and simulating this environment that they will be experiencing. If you want to be a manager or a leader, there's no easy way of doing it.
No, absolutely. No, I think in terms of a training program, a leadership training program, this is probably the best I've heard. Of course, they're good training programs you can go through in a classroom style or even online, but to have something where you actually experience a level of pressure where you have to push yourself, where you have to get beyond certain points that will be tough. It's not even might. I mean, that will be tough. That's real life. So no, I think it's wonderful, and I wish you a great trip tomorrow. How long is the trip for? How long will you be gone for?
We are coming back. It's 9 days. 9 days.
9 days.
We will be back in 9 days. Yeah. So even we just included one more. Just now that you said how that teaches them, it's all about resilience, discipline, and also time management. We included it because I took EBC. I was facilitating a time management course the other day, and they just time management is so copy paste. They never really talked to me. I'm like, what do you mean to manage time?
Yeah.
So I was with a group of senior leaders, and they were like, what do you want us to do? I'm like, okay, listen to me. Like, here is a mountain. You have 9 days to get from Lukla to Everest Base Camp. How do you manage that time? I'm like, what is it that you actually manage here? And they realized that it's not the time you receive it, the amount of time. You have 9 days to do it. But it's not the time that you manage, but what you do and achieve, how far you go every single day. And you must do that. Otherwise, the next day you play catching up, or you will be late and you're not meeting the deadline. True. And this is how they understood that it's not the time, not time boxing, not to-do list, not calendar invites and all that kind of thing. It's take what is it that you need to climb that mountain. This is what you have. What is your route? And when do you need to get every single day? And how long it takes? 10 hours, 8 hours, it doesn't matter. But you must get there. What is the daily, route? And this is how they understood. So we incorporated that into the program as well.
Yeah, well, it sounds like real life. It sounds like being a leader in a business.
Absolutely.
And a very important part. So, no, I think it's wonderful. I wish you a great trip, like I just said, and I look forward to hearing all the stories afterwards. So thank you so much for being here today and talking to me about it. And talk to you in 9 days then.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. I will tell you everything.